Alright guys, it's time for a little introduction. I go by Dreams Forgotten, aka DF. And I'm starting a brand new project. That's what this videos and the videos to follow are all about. And if you can't tell by the title, I'm one of the poors. We don't simply just walk in a dealership, buy an Audi and walk out and enjoy our lives. Warranty, peace of mind. Nah. We buy a ruined Audi from somebody that don't want it anymore. And usually spend more than what a new one would cost on the fool's errand of trying to fix it. And that's exactly what this is. So, bought a 2014 Audi S4. And it was disclosed to me ahead of time that it doesn't have a transmission. It has a transmission, but it doesn't have a transmission. I went under the assumption that it would be a full transmission replacement with a salvage transmission. When I got there to pick the car up, I found out there's another issue with the car that I didn't know it had before. It runs and drives, it cranks up. Engine seems to run pretty smooth. There's like maybe 1.5 seconds of timing chain slap. Then the hydraulics kick in and lock in, which of course means I'm gonna need timing job done soon as well. Not cheap. But the other problem with the car was the title is branded for not actual mileage. Auction car imported from Florida. It appears there was some fuckery about. The car says 136,704. But when I pulled the Carfax, it showed it being serviced at like 120, and I'll even pull some footage of scrolling the actual Carfax. It was serviced at 120, 130, 140, 150. And then it was sold to another buyer who brought it in and got it serviced. Now, mind you, it passed 130. It was in the 150 range. And then another person went serviced it at 120. So at that point, it was like 30,000 miles were wiped. 40,000 miles were wiped off the odometer reading, solely off the fact of the Carfax. And the last few times it was serviced, it's got to have around 200,000 miles on it. We have a error code on the power steering module. But I'm hopeful because every single cable that plugs into it is encased in oil. The engine's leaking 200,000 miles. The engine is leaking like a sieve every fucking where. The transmission's covered. I thought the transmission had a leak till I pulled the pan off of that. Well, basically, this is just the introductory to the project. I'm gonna roll the initial footage on the car being dropped off. I say dropped off, I went pick it up. So I'm from Louisiana. I traveled to Alabama to grab the car and I brought it back to Louisiana. It's titled in my name, registered, no insurance. It doesn't drive. It runs. The transmission was never serviced. The filter was completely black. I don't think the filter was filtering. The internal filter as well. I'll discuss that later on in the video. But that's just where we stand. Dreams forgotten. $2,000 Audi S4. Poor Cajun man's dream. 16 to 18 grand. I'm in the car itself for 2,000 plus the cost to go pick it up and secondary air intake pump that I didn't know was broke. Send off the power steering module. Possibly. Gonna clean the contacts first. Clear the fault codes, see if it comes back. But I can't do any of this till Monday. Today's Friday for comparison. I can't do anything till Monday because that's when my oil and filter and full DSG service kit comes in from FCP. So I'm gonna throw that on the car. Got the S4. Never got to drive the S4, but that's what this project's all about. So if you're down with that, if you wanna watch this shit, stay tuned. And if not, all good. I know YouTube is saturated with the same story. But I'm gonna have to warn you, don't expect regular uploads. Don't expect regular updates. I am one of the poors. This is not a project I can fund to where I can just each part that I come across. It is what it is. This shit is done when it's done. These videos will serve as a reference point, and they'll be uploaded in case anybody else can use them as a reference point as well. Another thing that I can use from these videos is if anybody knowledgeable sees me doing some ignorant ass shit that the poors don't understand about Audis and I fuck up, feel free to let me know in the comments a better way than the way I'm currently approaching things, because I don't have any expertise in this shit. Alright, this is the state she's in. Got a 2014 B8.5 Audi S4. Currently runs. Body's in great shape. Transmission, not so much. Has the no reverse, continue to drive on the dash, although can't drive too much. It bucks like a Bronco that doesn't want you on the back of it. It appears to have the aluminum optics package. It's got the aluminum mirrors, but unless I'm tripping, those seals at the bottom are color matched, and aluminum optics comes with aluminum seals to set them off from the actual paint. So I don't know if they just got aluminum. Well, no, because it has a supercharged badge instead of the V6T badge. Yeah, V6T is what the regular badge is. It also has the aluminum trim cutting fog lights, but this one's black and this one's aluminum. So we got that. That door seal also color matched, not aluminum. Very nice spec. It has the Alcantara bucket seats. Alcantara, what am I talking about? It's got the aluminum trim. Looks white on all the doors. Got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's gonna need some love. It's gonna need some work, and it's gonna need some fucking money. Glad to see that the sunroof moves effortlessly. Key doesn't work, oddly enough. So, can't lock the door. You can unlock the door, but it takes 2 pushes instead of 1. Well, that one worked on the first try. The trunk usually takes to hit unlock and then trunk immediately after. Well, the trunk doesn't work, so no trunk, lock. Okay, now the trunk doesn't work at all. See? You got to do it with the unlock. Looks like they had to change a tail light at some point. I mean, not a tail light, a fog light. So the only way to unlock it, or lock it rather, is with the key itself. The alarm won't beep because the hood's popped. But you have to lock it with the key itself. The convenience key features don't work. And lock, those don't work. And you can't use the push button start with the key in your pocket. The key has to be in the dash. So that doesn't work. It has 136,704 on the mileage. Although the title says there's a mileage discrepancy. But when you quite possibly you're going to have to replace the engine and transmission anyway. I don't really care about that discrepancy. It could have over 200,000 miles. It could have 130. I'm leaning towards the 200. Definitely. It looks great on the interior. It needs a clean. I'm in the middle of cleaning right now, but I needed to document where we're at, where we're starting, and where we're headed. I finally got a flat bottom steering wheel. car don't move, but I got a flat bottom steering wheel. Other than that, it is in great shape. Body-wise. Sure, the engine works, but I'm thinking I'm gonna need a rebuild. At the very least, I'm gonna need a timing, but I'm gonna need a rebuild as well. Whoever had it before me, I'm not happy with this. I gotta find out where this is all headed. Haven't reached the green battery yet. About the tie wraps where they broke the connectors for the spark plugs on all three of the right side. They didn't do that on the left side. So somebody worked on this car and doesn't know how to take apart spark plugs. They cut this rubber piece that goes across the top of the radiator. I'm assuming because of this. Piece of shit. By the way, this is ECS tuning. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is ECS tuning as well, this little front plate. Let me tell you, without a doubt, this is shit. ECS tuning, sinking those screws down in that plastic that can hold water. Fucking horrible idea. Both screws are rusted to shit. I don't like this intake. It looks cheap. It's ECS tuning, but it looks cheap. This filter looks shitty as they come. And I just ripped that out. It's a breather. What the fuck? It used to be hooked to, but now I have to figure that out. That was right there. Right next to the air intake, and it broke from right under there. No fucking telling. But this is the start of my $2,000 B8.5 S4. And I must admit, for $2,000, I do think it's a good starting point. Even with an engine and transmission, which I have an engine. The engine turns over, it runs. I have no engine codes, by the way. I have a lot of fault codes in ODB11. I have my Rostec cable coming in tomorrow. I have a lot of codes, and not a single one of them is about the performance of the engine. As soon as the battery charges enough to start the engine so I can get onto these ramps in the most sketchiest fucking situation I've ever been in. So when you start the car and you put it in drive, one of two things is going to happen. It's not even going to let you rev the engine, and it's going to go nowhere. You press the gas and it'll do nothing. Just sit there. Or it'll let you press the gas. You press the gas really hard, and then it lunges forward extremely hard, and then stops. And lunges again and stops. So getting on top of these is going to be fucking fun. No reverse, like I said. There's no reverse on the dash. Also, the power steering unit is toast. The control module is bad according to engine code, and I am turning the wheels by sheer power. There is no assistance whatsoever to the wheels turning. So I'm most likely going to have to send the power steering control module off and have it repaired. There are repair shops around $600 for that online. I'm almost positive the mechatronics are gone. I don't know if it's worth investing in this transmission, replace the mechatronics and the oil filters and do a service, or buy a used transmission, do a service and pray. The rest of it, I can live with it exactly as it is right now. Not my favorite Audi rims, but could be worse. Don't look like they'll be too much of a pain to clean. The brakes and rotors look fine. Don't need to replace them just yet. The tires are actually good. I got one silver fog light and one black. What the fuck happened there? And then I have another light in the trunk that doesn't look like it matches either one. I got hella spider webbing on the front bumper for some reason. Hella spider webbing because it doesn't exist on the fenders or anywhere else on the car. These S4s really are gorgeous with their body lines. And this is the last that it was. I don't like the 2019 and ups. It's the last time. That's why I bought this year in particular. But this is the start of my $2,000 S4. Let's see how bad this gets before it's on the road. Okay, so minor update. Pulled the front bumper. Pulled the bolts here, here, and now I'm pulling the bolt Can't see. Oh, here. Because it turns out that hose that went nowhere off of my intake was actually something called the secondary air intake. And it is needed. And since it is needed, that's all rusted. I have a hole in the side of mine now. I'm gonna try to salvage the black cover, buy a cheap or broken one, and take its black cover. Whatever it takes. Although I'm a little bit worried that it's not gonna work, simply because it looks like. All right. Next status update. Clean the engine real well. I am using the foaming O'Reilly's. Well, that's brake part cleaner. That's not what I'm using. Foaming engine spray. It's doing a good job. I cleaned the whole underneath. Yeah, and that sucks. I have to sort that here in a second. Clean the whole underneath. I'll pull the brace of the transmission, the pan, the external, and the internal filter. That don't look so well, does it? How about this? That don't look so well. I've got new bolts for the pan, gasket for the pan, and fluid and a washer. I have to go back and get the O-ring for that filter because obviously it's not on it. I don't do any of the filming under the car because there's no room. I'm barely able to get this shit out. The fluid won't be in for a few days. My Rostec cable comes in today. Although I won't be. I'm gonna give the whole engine another probably couple days to dry out. I'll hook the Rostec up, but I'm not starting the motor. I'm gonna give it a few days to dry out before I attempt to start it again. It got light water pressure to clean it after the soaking with the what is it, foaming engine degreaser. It's actually right here in this bag. This stuff works pretty damn good, and I thought I had a leak on the transmission. Turns out not at all. It's just covered in engine oil. So the transmission is not leaking. I'm not sure how much fluid's in that bucket. So I'm not sure if it was overfilled, underfilled. It doesn't look like it was underfilled. The clutch disc said the pressure was too high. But both them filters were pretty bad. Now the filter that came out the inside of the transmission, the oil came out the bottom of the filter was see-through, but the oil that came out the top of the filter was not. So I'm imagining that the filter there internally looks like the filter there. So I'm gonna put the fluid and do an adaptation with the VCDS and see if this thing quits being a bucking Bronco, or we have to move forward with the entire mechatronics. And that engine can damn sure use timing, if nothing else. Timing in the top end, but one of the pours, that'll come later. That'll come years later. Have it titled and registered today. Have a registration in the glove box. Feels good. Man, I need that bumper back on. She don't look quite as sexy. Do need to paint the front crash bar, cause seeing that through the bumper, especially when I'm not gonna go to the RS4 bumper with the honeycomb. I'm gonna paint the bumper that's on this car. I'm gonna paint the grill black. Leave it exactly how it is, paint it black. I think I'm even gonna put the chrome rings back on instead of going to black rings, and just have that stand out by being black. But more importantly, the vacuum out. We about to tackle the interior as soon as I get all this gear all off my hands. Nothing else I can do gear wise till, like I said, FCP Euro's got a package on the way. Rostec cable today. In the next few days, I ordered that secondary air intake pump that I figured out that was broken from the breather inlet from the intake. that whole pump's broke. When it broke out the side to pump, it didn't just leave a hole, it crushed the fins, every single fin. So there's nothing salvageable about it. Got an eBay one coming on that says there's something about the pigtail that's broke, but I have the pigtail on my crushed pump, so I'll transfer over if need be. I'll tie wrap if not. This is my $2,000 S4. If a little clip is missing, as long as she runs. So we'll get back with another update when more ports arrive.